So, are you guys looking to get started in 3D and don't know where to start? It can be expensive, but I wanted to show you guys a few great options to start off with 3D that are cheap to free. So, let's take a look. Okay, so here is the license that I have right now. This is running me $199 a year, and it is the Houdini Indie license. And with Indie license, basically, I can use it commercially as long as I don't make over $100,000 in a year. If I do, I have to work up the ladder of different price ranges for Houdini. So, for example, if we look at this level, we can see why a lot of people are scared to get into 3D because it can get pretty pricey really quick when you're working with 3D software here, even more so. But the nice thing is that a lot of these softwares have free learning editions. So with Houdini, we have the free Houdini Apprentice edition, and with this edition we can download it for free and we can use it to learn the software and start creating content. We can't use it for commercial purposes, but you can use it to start learning the software and get familiar with it. A lot of people have also heard of Maya, which is made by Autodesk, and they have their own site. If we look here, autodesk.com/education/home, we have a section here for get free software. So when we go here, we have a lot of different software created by Autodesk that is for free. So here, for example, we have Maya that is for free. These are all of the kind of featured softwares, but also if we look at the all products list, we have a lot more software that is available as a free educational license so that you can learn their software and get more familiarized with it. So we have Maya. Another one, if you're interested in sculpting and things like that, Mudbox is pretty good. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of different softwares you can go through and look to see what works for you if you're interested in drafting for AutoCAD and things like that. Autodesk makes that as well. Um, so this is really good to start learning and working with the software and kind of start getting familiarized with it. Another great option is using some software that's open source. So here we can see that we're looking at the Blender site. It's blender.org, and Blender has a free open source version, or that's the only version they have. It's free and it's open source to download of their 3D software. It's been used at many studios and used a lot for professional work, so it's a professional level software that is completely free, and you can use it commercially, which is nice, and they don't charge you anything for it. You can download it here. You can look at downloads, find out more information. You can see the quality is really nice in Blender, and you can do a lot with it. You can model, you can sculpt, you can rig, you can animate, you can do pretty much anything you can do with the other more expensive versions of the software. There's also this software that is from Pixelogic called Sculptress. Sculptress is a sculpting software to get really high detailed models and also for texturing and painting. So it is really kind of nice, and it's also a free download. So Sculptress is also the same company that makes ZBrush. So we can see the ZBrush page here. And ZBrush is another sculpting software. It's just their kind of paid version. Let's look at the buy section, see if they have any prices. Let's maybe look here. single user license, and we can see that this is going to run you a pretty penny. It's $795, and they do have educational versions, but you have to pay for the educational version. The nice thing about their educational version, at least when I bought it, is that if you buy the educational license, you pay about $400 or something like that. And if you ever want to upgrade it to the full commercial version, you just have to pay the difference from what you paid. So you can start off with the educational version and then jump up into the commercial version without having to kind of double pay for everything. Or you can just go with the other option that we were looking at and use Sculptress, which is completely free and awesome. Another thing that a lot of 3D artists are going to need to use is something like Photoshop and their license Adobe for their whole Creative Cloud. Let's look at Adobe Creative Cloud really quick. So Adobe, and we can look at individuals, and we can choose a plan. So with Adobe, you get kind of a set of softwares, and depending on which one you want to do, it can be more or less. If you're just doing photography, just 9, it's Lightroom, Photoshop, and a few other ones. But depending on how much software, if you want to have all the Creative Cloud access to it, so you're getting Premiere and After Effects and a whole bunch of other things like that, you can use this version, which is $50 a month, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up throughout the year. So it can be very similar to some of the other prices that we have seen. And even more over time. But maybe if you just wanted to get Photoshop, the $9.99 version is not that bad. But if you wanted After Effects and other things like that, then you're going to jump up all the way to this $49. And you can go to the single app, but for most of the 3D stuff that you're going to do, you probably would be better off either going in the photography package or the all apps package, because it'll add up really quick, and at that point you might as well have everything access to it. But the alternative to using something like Photoshop would be using GIMP, another open source software, completely free, and you can use it for commercial projects, and it's really similar to Photoshop. So you can create your own textures and work with everything that you need to for your 3D packages. Another thing that you can use that's kind of similar to this is Inkscape. I guess the Adobe equivalent to this would be Illustrator, where you're working with vector graphics and creating vector graphics and images that way. So with this is another open source software. So if we look at the downloads, well, there's a download there, but you can download the installer and everything, and it's free. Very nice. And as a bonus, I wanted to show you one more thing. If you just want to do something that is really quick and easy for graphics that you're uploading to videos online or to your blog or things like that, and you didn't want to pay for the Adobe license, or you didn't want to use GIMP, this Canva.com is a really nice software to use, and it's really easy, and it is free to use. They do have some paid content when you're creating things, so you can tell really quick when, if we were to design something here, not that one. Oh, that was one. So you can see that there's hatch lines on here. So that means that that image in the background is a image that you would have to pay a license to use, but you can always upload your own images, and you can create your own text adding here, so everything you can go in and customize. So there's a lot of templates and everything that you can start off as a base to work with. So you can see here the teapot is a paid content that you have to pay for, but it doesn't look like these little flowers are. That would be free that you can use. So you would want to take the teapot and delete it, and then you can customize this, or you can bring in your own image and import it and put that into the background. So there's a lot of options with doing with Canva, and again, another free software. So those are my tips on where to get started in 3D, which softwares to use. And I'd like to hear back from you guys if you have any other softwares that you guys like to use that is cheap or free, and list it down in the description. Thanks. I'll see you guys in the next video.